Let's go. Let's do it
We're
live.
going. Yeah. Okay. Welcome to the Firearms Insider Gun and Gear Review Podcast, episode 307. On this show, we showcase gun reviews, gear, and anything else a gun enthusiast may be looking for. We strive to evaluate products from an unbiased and honest perspective. In this show, I have a review of an awesome compensator, muzzle brake, whatever you want to call it. And the rest of us discuss some Ruger stuff and a new reloading press. So, I'm your host, Chad Wallace, and with me tonight are the usual Zane, Tony, and Rob. So, because I had grand plans of going to the range and had the range bag packed up, and then instead I got sidetracked by a daughter that thought she had an appendicitis. In fact, for a while, the ER thought she had an appendicitis. So I was a little bit busy, but she is fine. And so I didn't go to the range. Imagine that. So what did you guys do?
Well, I was on call all weekend, so I couldn't really go to the range. Because with my luck, I'd go to the range and then be like, oh, beep, 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 crap.
Okay.
So, I didn't do nothing.
I went to the range, and I chased B8 scores, and it didn't do very well. So I shot like the first 5 under a timer and a video. I'm trying to win this patch in this group, and I was shoot. You got to shoot a 90 or above from the holster in under 20 seconds, and I was shooting like 75s.
What
So
range?
25 yards.
Yeah, exactly. That's a tough shot.
Yeah, but there's like I want to say about 12 people have passed so far. Only one that not using a red dot. One guy actually did it with straight up plastic Glock iron sights, and I'm like, that's impressive. But yeah, so I finally put the timer and the video camera away and just was shooting, and then I shot a couple of 90s. Once I put that away, complete slow fire. But obviously it doesn't count for the patch. But in that group, if you want to go join, it's open to everybody. It's just V8 Development on Facebook, and you can win patches if you can suck less than I do.
Yeah, I actually joined the group. I got to get a timer, a decent timer, so I can start doing stuff like that.
With some of the stuff, like with this one, with people that don't have timers, the guy who's grading everything will pull the time from the video, as long as you're not like being a douche and speeding your camera up.
Right.
But
True Exodus, what?
Yeah, right. Which is a good mix of people in the group. There's everyone from folks who are like can't even shoot a 50 to like Bill Blowers is in there. He's shooting like 106 X's, and it's like, that's like not even human. But
I'm one of the people that shoots like 51.
Man, sometimes I can shoot, sometimes I can't. When you're having a bad day, sometimes you just got to put the stuff away and go home. Try again the next day.
Yeah.
What are the distances you're shooting at?
25 yards.
Okay, cool. So I can do this. What's the name of the Facebook group?
B8 Development. So like
B as in Bravo?
B Bravo. The
Do
number.
You just
8.
want me to put the link in the show notes?
Yeah,
I'll
put
go
the link in the
find
show
it.
notes.
Okay, while you guys are yakking, I'll go find it.
All right. Yeah, my buddy Kirk started it just kind of to help people suck less, and it's fun.
The second thing. The only thing that annoys me, well, there's a few things that annoy me, but one of the things that annoys me about shooting at Fort Dix at range 14 is our minimum is 15 yards. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that sucks. So, you can't shoot dot torture. You can't shoot bill drills.
Well, you can. It's just you better be really good.
Right. Yeah.
Like inhumanly good.
Yeah, you should be slaughtering the B8s though.
Well, that's the thing. People they're like, well, how do you shoot so well? I'm like, I don't have a choice.
Right.
My minimum is 15, so usually no matter what I use, I go out to 25 and just start there because I'm one of those people that believe if you're using a firearm defensively, you should be able to shoot someone in the face at 25 yards for a shot.
Yep. Well, there's another group I was in that was doing the Big D Jack Wilson challenge where they were under 2 seconds from the timer, headshot at 15 yards, and from the guy in Texas.
Right.
Okay.
They were like, everyone was trying to duplicate that shot. That was kind of cool. I didn't try that one because I just didn't have time to do everything. So
there you go, Tony. Now you can click on the show notes and find it.
All right. Look at you.
Yeah, I'm professional. Okay. Tony, did you do anything?
I did absolutely nothing. Sorry. I usually do, and I forgot what happened. Just life came at me, and I haven't been able to get to the range like I need to. So tomorrow is supposed to be my range day, but what I have to do is go and pick out dates for our schedule for the rest of the year's training. So pretty much my whole thing will probably be just filling in dates. You know what I mean? Like for training. I already have 2 classes booked, and I haven't even come up with a date. I just came up with a month. I'm doing an all ladies class in April. All women's
Zane
class
going?
in April. No, because I'm going to have them fire full power loads in my classes. So
Oh,
Zane can't
okay. I just wanted to make sure.
Nice.
Okay, so on to the announcements, because none of us decide to go to the range except for Zane. I mean, he's doing better than us, I guess. So if you want to pledge your support for us, you can go to thegunandgearcult.com. Wanders you over to a Patreon style account, and we have one $5, $15, and $25 levels. Bandwidth sponsor is Patriot Patch Co. And of course, we have the cool Snow Problemo patch, which is a like 6x6 or something snow machine with a snowman on top shooting snowballs or something like that. It's pretty cool. So go check out the Patch of the Month Club and their patches. I also ordered myself a unicorn patch. I can't say what it says because, well, it's not appropriate for the show. It says majestic something. That did not come from Patriot Patch Co. though. So
That's cool.
But hey, it's cool. So check out Gunstreamer if you want to check out some gun video content. And if you're shopping Amazon, please use our affiliate link at firearmsradio.tv/Amazon. And now the most important of the part of the show, and here's Rob.
Boy, that was such enthusiasm.
Yeah, it was terrible.
Yeah, definitely not channeling your inner Ed McMahon.
Well, okay, sorry.
The views and opinions expressed in this podcast are those of the individual co-hosts and do not reflect the official policy or position of the Firearms Radio Network and or their employers. This is not legal advice, nor should it be considered as such. Viewer discretion is advised. This is especially true on live shows. And now, tonight, for a review on the Walker Defense Nero 556, here's Chad.
Now that was good. I'm impressed, Rob.
There you go.
There you go. Awesome. Okay.
I ain't never do that again.
Oh, why? It was good.
Oh.
Whatever.
Because you don't pay me enough.
Yeah,
I want to double my rates. I want to use double my salary.
Yeah, whatever. Tony wanted his tripled, so I don't know what to do. Like Rob said, we do have the Walker Defense Nero 556, which is a muzzle brake compensator style, whatever you want to call it. It does all kinds of stuff. And Walker Defense has come on the market with some actual truly innovative products. And of course, the Nero 556 is one of them. It is a 3D printed hybrid muzzle brake compensator that they print, I'm saying that loosely, from Inconel. They use state-of-the-art 3D manufacturing. And so Walker was able to design the Nero without the constraints of normal machining. And I had actually watched a few of the videos on the Nero, and I really needed to see if it was as good as all the videos showed for myself. So I actually reached out to them for a review sample, and they did send me one. I am really glad they did, actually. The 3D manufacturing process brings a whole new level to muzzle brake design. Walker Defense uses an adaptive manufacturing process called DMLS, which is direct metal laser sintering. Basically, the process uses a laser to melt the powdered metal together. And by using this process, Walker was able to design the muzzle brake that doesn't have to use standard machining processes. Instead, they designed it using a fluid dynamics model for the best possible reduction in muzzle rise and recoil, not constrained by standard machining. And as we said, the Nero's made from Inconel, and as some people may know, Inconel, it's a super alloy known for its resistance to heat, pressure, corrosion, and some suppressor manufacturers do use it for their initial blast baffle because of all of those known, resistance to heat, pressure, corrosion stuff that a suppressor does not like. And Inconel is not the easiest metal to machine anyway, and can add a huge cost if you have to machine it. So by laser sintering the Inconel, you can keep some of the cost down. And I say some because in the end, you'll figure out why I say that. Now, Walker designed it for 0 muzzle rise on an optimized 14.5 to 16-inch barrel. That's the 223 version. 5.56, you get it. If you run a shorter barrel, it will definitely push the muzzle down. I know this because I did try it on my 11.5 and 7.5. Because the pressure is greater going through the Nero, that is why on the shorter barrels like the 7.5, it actually pushes it down. Walker did actually send me a cutaway diagram, so of course I scanned it and put it into the review. The diagram actually helps to explain what's going on with the Nero comp. And of course why it kind of looks the way it does. And I put in here direct quote from some paperwork they sent me. It says, as Walker Defense mentioned, Nero, was designed using fluid dynamics to force the gases to take a different trajectory than the bullet. Upon entering the muzzle device, the vector flow nozzle, and it shows the picture, it's number 1, acts as an inverted ramp, and along the dimpled compression ramp, which is on the bottom of the compensator, focuses a jet of gas into the curved blast surface, which is the front of the baffle, or front of the device, directly below the bore. This focused gas striking the curved blast surface is intended to create a balanced counter recoil force that directly counteracts the rearward and upward recoil with a downward and forward counter force. That's kind of a long-winded explanation of what it does, but, go check out the review. There is a short video of me shooting it on a 16-inch standard AR. There's also a cutaway that I got off the internet that shows the little dimples and kind of the blast nozzle that they show. Okay, now that you're all bored with the technical descriptions, I'll give you my take on this. The Nero actually works like nothing else I've ever used before. Like I said, I did try it on 11.5 and 7.5. But most of the time I did use it on a 16-inch barrel. The Nero did exactly as stated. Recoil was reduced extremely. Most importantly, muzzle rise was effectively eliminated, and I have some data that kind of shows that. The recoil impulse almost felt as it was slightly pulling away from my shoulder. It's kind of weird to explain, but it kind of felt that way. When I tried it on the short barrels, results varied, of course. An 11.5, the recoil was reduced. The muzzle dipped a little, but not much. It was still pretty good on the 11.5. The 7.5, it reduced the recoil, of course, but it also had a huge downward force pushing the muzzle down. explained it earlier. So I personally would recommend it being run on a 14.5 or 16 as it was designed for. With the shorter barrels, there was also more concussive blast from it. That's just what I could tell. I didn't really notice it with the 16. It's less than some other muzzle brakes I own. Of course, it's not as much as a straight flash hider, but hey, it's not designed as that. While I was shooting a standard USPSA target, human type target, at ranges from 5 to 25 yards, A-zone hits were super easy. If I was shooting fast, the muzzle stayed on target. The hits were all on target. The rifle I was using weighs in at 6 pounds empty. I figured I'd throw that in there so people can get an idea of that it's not a super heavy rifle, but it's not one of the super light ones either. Walker Defense also noted about handling the rifle differently. When new shooters use the Nero for the first time, they have a tendency to pull the muzzle down, mostly due because I hate to use the word muscle memory, but with a lot of other comps and stuff, they have to put that downward pressure to get it to stay level. With the Nero, that's definitely not needed. Since I was warned about it, I actually shot the rifle with the handguard resting on my flat hand or slightly curved, but not actually grabbing the handguard. After first installing the Nero, I did that. Yes, it shot very flat with no support. However, I did go back to the standard grip without any problems. I was trying to measure the recoil to give a comparison on like an A2 flash hider, but getting the data was not that great. I did get a few decent muzzle rise readings on an app I have, which is the Mantis X, which sometime in the future will be for review. It's their new X10 that will measure recoil and muzzle rise, stuff like that. I did actually put the device out towards the muzzle so that it would measure more rise if it was actually moving, as opposed to being up the handguard towards the rifle's receiver itself. If you go to the review on the Firearms Insider, you will find that there's still a line on these drawings. That was pretty much the last round fired, and then I moved the rifle. Average muzzle rise was near zero. This was standing offhand. I think one of them averaged 0.04, one was 0.08. One of them had like five readings. I think I shot like 15 rounds. I was just shooting them fast enough that the Mantis X didn't pick them all up. The other one only shows 3, but it was the same kind of deal. I was shooting rounds and it didn't pick them all up, but you get the idea. Now, the Nero may not be for everyone. Me personally, I think it should be. It's that good. If you're a competitive shooter, you probably need one of these. If you like reduced muzzle climb, you need one also. Faster follow-up shots, of course, it definitely helps with that. It may seem pricey, but after shooting it, you will probably change your mind, as I did. And the videos put out by Walker Defense really are how the Nero shoots. It is definitely innovative. You can kind of tell that by looking at it, because it doesn't look like your normal compensator muzzle brake, but it isn't, thanks to the 3D design and sintering. So if you do want an awesome recoil and muzzle rise reducing muzzle brake, go give the Nero a look. Now we'll get into the Firearms Insider 8 key points. Claim to fame: 3D printed muzzle brake with soft recoil and 0 muzzle rise. Target market is anybody wanting the best technology in a muzzle brake. Features and benefits, there's a list of them. It's reduced recoil, minimal muzzle climb. It does have standard half 28 thread pitch. Use it on 223 Remington, 5.56 NATO, or 224 Valkyrie. It is made from Inconel 718. It is PVD coated. it is also pre-drilled for pinning and welding on a 14.5-inch barrel, which I thought was kind of cool. It is direct metal laser sintered. It weighs 3 5/8 ounces, and it is 2.6 inches long. And they also put individual serial numbers on it for quality control. And of course, it's optimized for the 14.5 to 16-inch barrel. If you're looking for other options, they do have the Nero 9 and the Nero 7.62, either coming out soon or available now, depending on when you listen to this. There is another thing on what others are saying. There is a link to another review. Now, the price point, MSRP, is $179.95. And you may say that's quite a bit, but considering the material and what it actually does, it's worth it. So if you need it now, go to Walker Defense. Our ratings, the pros, 0 muzzle rise. It does reduce the recoil, so it might work for Zane. Faster follow-up shots. It is PVD coated, and it is 3D printed. The cons is pretty much the price. That's pretty much the only con I could really find with it. The score, I did give it a 9 of amazing, because it really is. Now, one last thing on the Nero muzzle brake is, if you go to it or use the links in the review, they gave us a discount code, and the discount code is Firearms Insider, all one word, and you get 10% off at the Walker Defense website. And so I guess that's it, and I'm sure you guys will have comments and questions for me, so hit me up.
I have a question that you probably can't answer, but I'm gonna ask it anyways. Are there special stuff needed to weld Inconel if I wanted to pin and weld this, or can I?
Now you ask. Oh man,
I'm just thinking about that. I'm like, okay, so it's pre-drilled for the pin and weld, but Inconel is it's not regular steel, so how do you weld it? Like, can you weld it with a regular, like, MIG welder? Or
yeah, I don't know. So that's a great question.
I was just thinking about that because, whatever.
Yeah. No.
Take it to your gunsmith, people.
Yeah,
Don't
exactly.
gunsmith at home.
Or, well, I wouldn't pin and weld something myself. I'm a terrible welder, even if I knew, how to weld Inconel. So.
Yeah, no, I weld it myself. It's fine.
Yeah.
My question is, how bad is the concussion on this thing to anybody not pulling the trigger?
It's not terrible, at least on the 16-inch barrel. I mean, it is there, and it does project out the side, but compared to some of the other muzzle brakes that I have, it is a lot less.
Well, I'm looking at it like Matador Arms no longer makes the Stinger.
Right.
So you can't buy it. They gave me one, and it's awesome, and it does stop that concussion because it directs it all down range. But if they don't make it anymore, me highlighting it, when I introduce somebody to a firearm, why introduce them to something they can't buy?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, I'm looking for alternatives to this. They have the new moderator, but I only have that 9mm. So they sent me, Matador Arms did send me their newest thing, but again, it's only a 9.
And it's, to answer your question, it's going to be more than like the one you're talking about, because it's like enclosed in a blast baffle that sends it all forward. And this still does have side ports. They're kind of like lines cut out. Go to the review. You can definitely check it out. But it still does have some.
I mean, is it as bad as like a competition comp? Like,
I have a 3-port comp on another 16-inch barrel, like 3 open port comp. It is way louder than the Nero.
Okay.
Oh, and I'm sorry. The Matador Arms thing is called a regulator, not whatever the heck I called it before, but it's called a regulator. Yeah, I just wanted to get it right and they do have it in other things. They just sent me the 9mm version. Dude, when you're trying to teach someone to shoot and they have trepidation in the first place, giving them something with a comp on it that just blows up, especially in the indoor range.
Yeah.
When you're standing between those in the booth, not a good thing to a new shooter.
And that's the thing is in my opinion is anything that says it's a comp or muzzle brake is probably not good for new shooters. Yes, it'll reduce the recoil if you're outside and it's just one-on-one. Yeah, that's fine. But like indoor range, it's definitely going to be louder than something else.
Like Tony, they have a lot of cool stuff.
You need to move so you can get a suppressor. That's the best way to train people.
Bro, it is so the best way to train people.
I'll tell you what, they definitely went with function over form because this thing's ugly. Like I'm sorry, it looks like the shotgun at Elmer Fudd had after the bunny put his finger in it. Like it looks like a bulged barrel.
The thing is I think I wasn't keen on how it looked. I'm like, but then that's the thing is then I shot it and I was like, okay, I don't care what it looks like.
Listen, if I'm all about functionality, so I'll take that over aesthetics any day. But you have to be like this to put this thing on your gun.
All right, my whole thing is how ugly is it? It should have Dyson written on the side of it. That's how ugly it is. It's ugly enough to be from Dyson, like a vacuum cleaner or something.
Yeah,
and the only reason you don't call a Dyson ugly is because you paid way too much for a vacuum cleaner, so you have to act like it's cool.
Yeah.
Same thing with this.
I think it's a really, really neat concept, though.
I love it. I think it's a great idea, and I wish I could actually use it. But like you said, I mean, for the purpose that we use it for, it's not gonna. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna scare the snot out of somebody. I'm thinking.
Yeah, and like in your case, no, but. If it's just something you want to run on one of your personal guns, I guess I'm saying that loosely because Tony lets everybody shoot everything. So,
yeah,
but
I would pin and weld this on a 14.5, and whoever comes in my front door gets all the bees.
Like yeah, they don't. Yeah, and the thing is it's nice. I mean, I really do go check out the videos that Walker Defense has because. When they're shooting it, they actually shoot it full auto, stuff like that, because of course they can, and it really does do what it says it does. So that I will close with the review on the Walker Defense Nero. And now we have the product spotlight and discussion. And first up is what everybody is talking or not talking about. The Ruger 57 or 57 with an MSRP of $799. As you know, this is their new 5.7 by 28 pistol. Yes, they decided to make one. Okay, what do you want to know about it? Okay, if you like 5.7 or want a 5.7, let's go. Now, it does have an ambi safety. Actual safety, not just the trigger safety. It is mounted where it should be, and it works the correct way. You push it down to release it and push it up to put it on. It does come with, looks like a front fiber optic sight, and it says it's tapped for easy mounting of optics with an available optic adapter plate. Okay. It is their secure action fire control, which uses the hammer with the crisp short trigger pull like they've been using on a few of their others. It is a 20 round magazine capacity if you're running it in a free state or a semi-free state. It also looks like the rear side is adjustable. The barrel is almost 5 inches at 4.94. The whole thing is 8.65 inches long. It is black nitride coated barrel. Let's see, it does say adjustable. Slide is black oxide. It weighs 24.5 ounces. It is only 1.2 inches wide. The height is 5.6. I mean, it's 1-9 right hand twist with 8 grooves. Not that probably anybody cares about that. It says it has improved ergonomics, easy to reach trigger, robust slide release, and reversible magazine release catch. It is a steel slide with lightning cuts tapped in it and tapped like we said. Let's see. It's textured frame, as we all know. It looks like about everything else. It comes with 2 magazines. Here's my take on the 5.7.
I was going to say, before we talk about the gun, I think we need to talk about the round, because there's a lot of internet folklore about this round, what it is and what it isn't.
Okay, here's what my take on the 5.7 is. I'm glad Ruger is making a pistol for it, but I don't think this is where you should put it at 50 cents a round or more. This is not your standard everyday plinker. It's a full-size gun, so you're going to be duty or, home defense. Not a lot of people are going to carry this gun. The 5.7 is, I would rather they made this in 22 Magnum because I can get cheap ammo. It's almost as good. That's my opinion.
Well,
Zane?
so 5.7, the terminal ballistics of it are almost identical to 22 Magnum. It's not a rifle cartridge. It's not going fast enough to do rifle stuff, cavitation, temporary wound cavity, things like that. So it's a pistol cartridge. It also, out of pistol-length barrels, is not armor piercing. Sorry. It can, but then once it does, it's got no umph to actually do any damage afterward.
I was going to say, isn't it soft body armor?
It's 3A, but I mean, it should punch through. But
a 22 mag will too, usually.
And the problem is, you're not going to get 12 to 18 inches of penetration after you do that. Right. The round was designed to be fired at full auto, very, very fast, out of a 10-inch barrel. Like, that's what it was designed to do. Now, it's not all doom and gloom, because it's if you need 22 Magnum recoil impulse, and you don't want to deal with the nonsense that is rim lock and the reliability issues that it can get out of rim fire, congratulations. Now you don't have to pay $1,500 for a pistol chambered in 5.7, and the safety's at least in the right place on this gun.
But why do they even have a safety?
I don't know.
Because it's Ruger. It's Ruger,
yes.
and they still double down on safeties unnecessarily. Plus, I think it also has a magazine disconnect. Maybe I didn't pick up on that one. I look at it like this: 5.7, fun round to freaking shoot, huge blast,
expensive.
So what? You don't have a 5.7 because you're trying to save money. I mean, the original gun it's in is $1,800. So yeah, you didn't buy it just to save money. You want to burn up some 5.7 rounds? Hey, it was kind of
$1,800 for the pistol.
Wasn't it? Yeah.
No, if you go for the 5.7, if you go for the PS90, you're looking $1,400 to $1,600. If you pay more than $1,500 for a PS90,
we're talking about the pistol.
We're talking about the
pistol. Should be $1,300 max.
Okay.
But either way,
but again, depends on the year you bought it. Because when they first came out, it was just ridiculous. But you aren't buying one to save money, so that's out the window. You're not buying one to pierce body ammo. Because they're cheaper guns.
Do, though.
Yeah, I know they do, and it's like, okay, it'll take care of soft body armor, but here's the thing: just shoot your gun, shoot a lot. I had a friend that used to carry one concealed because he was big enough to do so, and he since switched to a 1911 that he had custom built, or I don't even know what else he carries because I haven't spoken to him in a minute. But hey, he's one of the dudes that wanted to carry a ridiculous gun. To get a Ruger, you got a gun at half the price. The ammo is less expensive than it used to be. You got one because it's fun. You can also put a red dot on it, which you can't do with a regular 5.7, especially at the price. You get more options. It looks cooler. I mean, but the reason you got a 5.7 before was probably video games. And it was just a really cool video game gun. The Ruger is not in a video game. So now you just have a, 5.7 bullet launcher. But that's cool too. And you have all these things, fiber optic front sight, rear sight, whole thing. I don't understand why they keep doubling down on all the safeties. You have the Glock kind of safety on the trigger itself, and you got the regular safety where 1911 is, They do it because it's Ruger, and Ruger knows its fan base. But I'm sure they'll come out with a 5.7 Pro later on that gets rid of the thumb safety. Probably, who knows?
Well, at least with the FN57, the safety's on the frame closer, right above the pistol grip or the.
The safety's
trigger.
in the wrong spot on the 5.7. Shut up, Rob.
So that's why you don't have to worry about touching the bloody thing.
I think the 5.7 has the safety in the right place for how people modernly shoot guns. That's where you keep your finger out of the trigger well and along the side. So when you sweep your finger off, you put the thing in the trigger finger.
Zane's just being a hater.
No,
hey, dude,
I don't like manipulating things.
Zane's being a boomer.
Poor
He's
baby.
being a boomer.
Hey, now
He's
Tony,
boomer.
So do you think now that there's two pistols that shoot the 5.7, do you think we'll see the price of the ammo come down?
I sure hope so.
The only way you'll see the price of ammo come down realistically is if more manufacturers start making ammo. And right now, only FN and I think American Federal are making ammo.
Well, so
for the 5.7.
Now you got a more affordable gun, and Ruger has a very loyal fan base because every time I crap talk Ruger, we hear about it.
And I'll tell you, I've got the 5.7, I've got the PS90, I've got a bunch of other variations. I love them; they're fun to shoot. The really cool thing is when you put them in somebody's hand, they look at it and they go, "Oh my God, this thing's going to be hard to shoot," and it shoots like a freaking .22. It has zero kick to it, zero recoil. It is a nice, smooth shooting round, but it looks nasty.
It's loud and it's got a lot of flash, but no recoil. It's weird. It's very deceiving.
Yeah. Now, the only thing that's kind of wonky about it is in order to suppress the FN, you have to send the barrel off to have it milled, at which point you totally void your warranty for the gun. But, because FN's just like lock, they won't sell you a threaded barrel. Boogers.
Yeah, so I'm looking at it like it's great that FN has competition. It's a range toy, but hey, you can carry it for serious work if you want to. Just understand the limitations of the ammo and the round that you're using. But that's to do with every round you use. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I probably pick something like this up, but I'm going to wait 6 months, let them get the kinks worked out of it, and also, like Tony said, let them come out with a pro model that doesn't have that freaking safety in the back of it.
Dumb safety.
Yeah, I do not. I've got the Smith & Wesson M&P 22 pistol, and I put a silencer on that. And one day I was at the range shooting it, and I accidentally bumped the safety because the safety's in the same place. And for the life of me, it was in a pistol competition. And for the life of me, I couldn't figure it out. Then the RSO was like, "You put the safety on, dum dum." I'm like, "Oh crap!"
Hey,
and
Tony,
I just accidentally bumped it.
When we go to range day, there's a good chance Ruger will have one of these there. We can shoot 5 rounds apiece through it.
Nice. Hey, listen, I'll do it, man.
I'm curious.
My other thing is this, though, and I really want this to happen. I want 5.7 to be cheaper. I want more firearms to be in it, just because it's a fun round, like 22 TCM coming out of Rock Island.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's a really good comparison, actually.
Yeah. And I like them both, but here's the thing. 22 TCM didn't catch on with anybody. Ruger's making this. Ruger right now is like, F the world, we're going to do what we want to do. And this is awesome. Hopefully they come out with a pistol caliber carbine version of it too that uses their same magazines like the Ruger PC9, just because now it gives you another long arm that shoots it. And hey, look, why don't you make it? I saw somebody, what is it, MP7? They said make an MP7 clone. Just get as close as you can. Make an MP7 clone. Make one as a pistol. Make one as a rifle. Use the same magazine. What's up?
That's not a 5.7 though. That's a 4.6 by something though, isn't it?
Yeah, I know. So who cares? Yeah, that 4.6, nobody's gonna have it. So make it out of 5.7. Yeah, make it out of 5.7 and just make money. You know what I'm saying?
Ruger's gonna make money, and they're gonna sell a ton of these. And unfortunately, I think a lot of people are gonna buy these for reasons that are misguided. But I think that if you're looking for a range toy that's going to be a literal blast, but with a little bit of with low recoil, this is a big good option. I just don't see you using this for serious use because you're getting 22 Magnum performance out of a big gun.
Let me go ahead and say the serious use thing of what's going on. Now, you probably have friends too, Zane, that worked as military contractors overseas, and 5.7s were the gun they carried. 5.7s were the gun they carried because you couldn't depend on 9mm. Because a lot of the stuff was coming from questionable sources. So pretty much for the primary contractor overseas, the 5.7 was the thing they could get.
You do know the 5.7 round was designed to replace the 9mm, right?
Yeah, but it was designed to replace the 9mm in the PS of the P90.
Right. It was designed
not as a handgun.
Exactly. And most of the SWAT teams that adopted it have since abandoned it because the terminal performance on the human body just isn't really good. It's not as good.
The Secret Service still used it.
They probably do, but that's the federal government.
And they ain't really serious. And they ain't really serious about protecting the president anyway.
Nah.
How many people just jumped buck naked over a fence and got into the White House? I mean, how serious are they? But the thing about it is this: when you have a sidearm, you're overseas, and you can't depend on certain ammos. They got the 5.7; it has a 20-round mag, and if you can get the 30-round extended, now all of a sudden, and these guys, and this is what I was listening to one of the guys talk: escort duty. When some of these guys try to jump on your truck or vehicle and you can't get around fast enough to get your firearm, your long arm out, or turn around in the turret and get your, light machine gun at them, you can draw this and just send them all the bees. You can give them all the bullets and they're going to let go. You know what I mean? Especially with the blast and being holes poked through them with a 5.7 round. It doesn't have to have terminal performance to get the bad guy off you.
No, and it does. I mean, it does the same thing pistol rounds do. It pokes holes. It's just a little bit smaller than 9 or 40 or 45.
But understand, there's nothing magic about it coming out of a shorter barrel, and it's just another pistol round that just costs you more money.
Yeah. Now, what is up with the little? Is that it has the cocking serrations up front? What is up with the little divot right in the nose?
I think it's just to make it lighter.
What divot? You mean where it tapers in the front?
I don't like
it. Yeah, that's what it is.
Dude, this I love the work that Ruger did on this. This really, really looks cool to me because, I mean, Ruger went all out kind of agency style and just put all kinds of serrations and cutouts in this. It looks cool. Wish they had a trigger on it that either, pick a team, dude. Either you have the freaking Glock trigger or you have the 1911 safety, not both.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think you guys were right when you said that maybe they'd bring out a PC 5.7 because, they designed that with that mag block they can change.
That would have been really cool is if they would have designed this gun to take the FN magazines because they're charging the same price for their mags that FN is. They're charging $50 for a magazine.
Yeah, but street price on this gun is going to be what, $650?
Yeah, but for magazines, I guarantee you're going to be paying $45 to $50 for an extra magazine.
Yeah,
that's all right. Guess what? You pay 45.
You're paying 50 cents a round for the ammo. So
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and truly, if you buy anything, if you buy anything with CZ on the side of it, you're going to pay $50 for $45 for a magazine.
I'm just saying.
That's a. Let's see, what is that? That's a hipster tax, though, for a CZ.
Yeah.
I mean, we should get a discount on this because it's a FUD tax, right?
It's Ruger.
It's not a FUD gun. It says they got to hit the Wascally Wabbits with this gun.
Oh, bro, wait a minute. Look, it's a FUD gun. It has like 3 safety on it. Yeah, it's a FUD gun.
That's hilarious because this is probably a pretty good round for shooting rabbits.
Oh, man, you could annihilate rabbits with a 5.7.
You want to kill them, not blow them up, guys.
It depends on what kind of rabbits they are. I mean, if they're cottontails, you want to just shoot them in the head and eat them. If they're jackrabbits, they're pretty much poisoned anyway.
He said wascally rabbits.
So you just shoot them to keep the coyotes hungry.
Oh, dear God.
Okay.
He said wascally wabbits.
Wascally wabbits.
That's great.
All right, so is Zane eating carrots now? If he eats a carrot, I'm getting off this thing. I quit.
I'm going to go get a carrot now. Okay, well, because we're talking Ruger handguns, guess what?
Speaking of basically 22.
Ruger also came out with the LCP2 in 22 long rifle. Now, MSRP on this is only $349, but it's also includes their light rack system. Okay, it's a 22, so I kind of expect that. But no, just go with me here because if you've ever shot one of their Mark series pistols, those are not a light rack pistol. And I don't know why, because they're at 22. But their light rack system includes different slide serrations, and cocking ears kind of at the back of the slide for easy manipulation, and a lighter recoil spring. I don't know if that's just because it's a 22 or if it's even lighter, but they say it's low recoiling 22. So I'm guessing that the spring is not that light, or else it would recoil more. Let's see. Let me get to the specs here because I was on the wrong page. It is 10+1 capacity. It's pretty much LCP2 size, so its barrel length is 2 3/4 inches, and the whole thing is 5.2 inches. It only weighs 11.2 ounces. You know, of course, its grip frame is black polymer. You get it. It has slide width is 0.81 inches. The sights are integral. They're better than the original LCP, but you can't adjust them or anything like that. You know, hey, whatever. It's 4 inches tall. You know, I know a lot of people that were actually asking for the LCP in 22. I don't know if I'm super impressed with it. It does have an odd safety on it besides the trigger safety, which some
By
of the
odd, you mean stupid?
Okay, no, odd and stupid. Because when I say odd, it's not like the 57 that we talked about. This thing is like a push forward to take it off safe. I mean, literally, it's like straight up and down almost. You push it forward for off and somehow slide it back for on.
I love how they call it instinctive push forward to fire. I'm like, that thing looks extremely difficult to operate.
No, the 57 is instinctive. You
Right.
put your thumb on it, it goes down. This,
you gotta
just leave it off.
How do you do this? Like,
isn't the LCP like a 19.5-pound trigger anyways?
Yeah, the LCP2 is better, but it's one of those things. Did they do that to lighten it up? They lightened it up quite a bit. I don't know, because it's still a hammer system like the last one.
Yeah, it's a double action gun, right? Like,
yeah, it's some weird
double
thing
action
like
only.
that.
I mean,
yeah, they're secure action, they call it.
Yeah,
all right, look, they're in competition with the stupidest safety right beside the Mossberg MC1. It's like I got a crossbolt safety on a pistol.
I'd rather have the crossbolt safety than this thing, though.
I'm just saying, everything is fine, and I love listening to other reviewers because you can see who's who when they review something. And one of the things you can accidentally do with this, because the slide is so small, is when you rack the slide, you can accidentally hit the safety and engage the safety. Which is fine if this is your range gun, but it comes with a holster, or excuse me, you can pick up a holster for it, a carry holster for it from Shop Ruger. So now we're talking about carrying your LCP2 and 22 long rifle with a weird safety that you can actually engage by accident while you're trying to clear a malfunction.
I mean, to be fair though, the Army and the Marine Corps issued a gun that you could totally engage the safety while clearing malfunctions for years. So,
but well, they also issued a gun that when you threw it on the ground could shoot you.
That's more recent.
Yeah, talk about from one extreme to the other.
Yeah, right. But no, it was always funny to me to watch dudes with M9s that try to rack it like you would come across the top, and every time they would engage the safety, and I'd be like, and just look at the gun like, what? I'm like,
and you don't have that problem with the 1911.
No, you don't.
Nope.
Or the 57.
This safety is really the one thing that makes this for me a hard no.
Oh, yeah.
Because quite honestly, I don't hate it. I like the idea of, okay, obviously, I like the idea of if you carry an LCP, no, here's a training option for you. Because LCPs are not fun to shoot. If you've ever shot one.
I have an original LCP. And yes, it's hard to shoot. Yes, I don't really care for it. But for the price, if you're wearing something and you need very minimal showing, you need something super small to hide.
Like when you wearing that little black dress?
Yes,
geez.
when I wear the little black dress, I can hide the LCP and I can't hide a Glock 19.
Well, so what's the LCP in 380 hold? 6 and 1 or 5 and 1?
It's
I think it's like five
I
or
think
6.
it's 6 and 1.
Well, I'll be honest with you.
5 and 1.
I'm not enthusiastic about the way that they treat these things because I've got the LC 380, and that thing's all rusted to crap, and all I do was throw it in my gun safe. So,
well, so my thing is this: I would rather, in a gun this size, I would prefer to have 11 rounds of 22 over 7 rounds of 380.
I think I would too.
I just would. Now I don't. I'm not a huge fan of semi-automatic 22s because of, like I mentioned earlier, rim lock is a thing. But I think if you loaded your mags carefully, and that's just a risk you'd have to take. But that safety, that's a hard no. That is until that thing comes off, no way in hell.
Now, one thing I've had happen too on my LC 380s, you see that little cross pin that's right about midway down the slide?
Yeah, the one to take them apart.
Yeah, I've actually used my thumb so hard on the darn thing, it popped it out and jammed the darn thing.
Oh, because mine, you literally have to take something and pry it up. It's so hard to get out.
No, this thing I was doing like a day of shooting and some others. I don't know what the hell happened. The pin just worked its way loose.
Yeah.
I think go ahead, Tony.
No, go ahead, because I want to see something. I want to compare the size of the SR22 to the LCP2.
Well, and that's what I'm thinking. So, normally, Ruger does rimfire pretty well normally. What they don't do very well is semi-automatic centerfire stuff. You know what I mean? I'm going to make some people mad. What you mean. But, name me one military or law enforcement agency that issues a Ruger handgun. There's not.
Hey, Hannibal used the Ruger. Never mind.
Oh.
Tony's like, I got one. No, never mind.
Hold on. Yeah, go ahead, guys. I'm just going to pull up the 2 spec sheets on these and look at them side by side.
Well, I'm pretty much done because I'm with Zane. I like the idea. I have zero problems with the LCP and 22 being easy to rack, but that safety is just get rid of it, please.
It's almost like they said they wanted to compete with the Shield EZ, but then they kind of didn't. They kind of just wanted to make a trainer for their LCP, so they're like, why not both? And it doesn't really do either one very well. I think you're probably right.
Yeah, I'm looking at this. Overall length is 5.2 inches, right? 5.2 inches for the overall length on this, and the overall length on the SR22 is 6.4. So it's a little bigger, and of course the safety on the SR22, which is right here, is backwards too. Up for fire, down for safe. So it seems like somehow when Ruger tries to make anything other than the Mark Series 22, it's like they get hit in the head and have a stroke and smell toast.
And why is that? Because the Mark Series 22s they're great.
Look at this. How did you put a safety on that's backwards from anything else?
How did you put this safety on the LCP? What is that? What in God's name is the purpose of that?
Oh, because they were down at the factory and they had an extra dimmer switch. And they said, hey, bet you can't figure out how to incorporate a dimmer switch into a pistol.
Here's the deal. Okay, I'm going way out on a Tony limb here. I have a Lorson 22. Okay. Right? I won this, so that's the only reason I kept it. They're like what, $50 guns? 22 long rifle. Okay, the magazine's so crappy I can't load the full 6 in it. I have to load 5, right? It's a striker fired single action with a safety. The safety is this little button that slides up and down. You cannot reach it or anything, but I think it's still better than this because it goes up and down like it's supposed to.
Okay.
The only thing I'll say about these guns where they put these wonky safeties on, I don't know why they designed the safety this way, but if you ask her when you go to SHOT Show, what they're probably going to tell you is They put the safety on there so they can sell it in states that require safeties or require this drop.
Then put a safety that isn't stupid on it.
I'm not going to argue that point. I'm just saying they put it on. They put it in a really wonky location.
Well, do like
and again,
do like Smith and Wesson does, like when they bring out a new pistol. A lot of times they bring out the one with the safety, the one without the safety.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and by the way, the sights are fixed on this thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Right, so I'm like, I mean, fine if you use it as a defensive pistol, whatever. But I have fun with my SR-22, even though it has an atrocious trigger. I don't know, dude. I'm with all of you guys. If you got rid of the safety, it's a good training gun. And if you want to carry something deep cover or just running out the house in a pair of freaking shorts, and you toss this into your little DeSantis holster, because it should, since it's the same size as LCP2, should work in all those holsters too. So you don't even have to work. Like, so much was right, and then you did stuff that was wrong. That's pretty much, it's not a workaround for many people. And that safety is not a workaround. I did find it funny though. One guy said the thing is too short to be really accurate at long distance, and then I watched 22 Plinkster just plink at 100 yards and hit the target with it. It was hilarious.
Hit like a 10-inch gong constantly.
Yeah, he's like ting 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 ting. Yeah, I'm shooting a 10-inch or 8-inch gong at 100 yards, and I can still hit it. So this is still pretty accurate. And some other guy was like, "You can't hit anything at 15 yards with it." Hey, it depends on you, your trigger, and how you work it. But this is a small gun. It doesn't have a lot of recoil. Again, safety wasn't so wacky, dude. I'd be like, okay, as a training handgun, this would be great.
Yep, I think we're all in consensus with the LCP-22. Okay, now we'll go into something that probably nobody but maybe I care about.
Good night.
Yeah.
This is the Lee app press. MSRP is 110 plus. I'll explain that in a minute. I actually put this in there because we got a listener feedback on it. Said he loves the show, et cetera, et cetera. I'm like, hey, sweet. So, but he asked about it, the new app press. He liked that Lee's innovating new stuff, and he has 17 cartridges to load, and he didn't think that a Dillon is out of his price range, which I completely understand. What this is it's kind of interesting to me, and I'll explain the why. Now, yes, it's a reloading press. Okay. They patented it, which means it's something new. You can mount a reloading die at the top and bottom of the press. Most single stage reloading presses, you just have one at the top. So it says, now you can prime, swage, something, size bullets, as two things at once, basically. They mentioned heavy and stuff like that, but their die carriers are aluminum, and the items are nylon acetyl copolymer in some of the parts. The upper carrier rides in two centerless ground and roller burnished columns, so it's kind of like a bearing. It's counterbalanced centrally with a stays in the middle. It's a frameless design, so that what that does is it forces going directly to the dies through the steel linkages rather than through the frame like most of them do. It does have a spent primer container, but bushings to add standard 7/8 by 14 dies, stuff like that. But I was like, okay, I can get behind this. The price is good. But what a lot of presses are kind of a pain in the butt to do are size bullets if you cast them yourself, which this will do. Other presses will too, but this you can like drop them out the bottom as you size them because of the design. And the thing I get is it will also allow you to fix swelled like pistol rounds, like straight wall cases, Like if you shoot 9 a lot or you find a lot of brass at the range, you get stuff that's swelled cases because you're shooting it in like non-fully supported chambered pistols. Well, when you go to reload them, your dies don't go down all the way. And so you want to run them through a size buster thing, whatever you want to call it, die.
That's the real reason boomers don't like Glocks, because all the brass they steal from everybody else at the range.
Mm-hmm.
That I complete. Well, now they don't have a reason to be angry because they can buy the automatic processing press and they can fix that brass. But it does all the other things a single reloading press will do. You can get just the press or the automation kit. The price for 110 is the deluxe press, which comes with extra stuff. Basically the other stuff. You know, I reload sometimes. A lot, like right now, I don't really because it's not worth it for me. And rifle rounds is about it. But I have picked up a number of range brass that needs sized before I can size it. And this is where I think this press shines. Price wise, it's cheaper than a lot of the other presses. I figured I'd put it in here, talk about it. I don't know if you guys reload any. I think I might be the
Chad?
only one. Yeah.
Chad, when you talk about reloading, I'm thinking about putting a new mag in my pistol.
No.
Other than that, I have. You're speaking Greek to me, my friend. I have no idea what's going on here. I've talked to people who reload. I just don't have the time.
Well, the thing is
it takes a ton of time to be able to clean the brass and polish it.
And some people enjoy it. I do it not because I enjoy it, but because it's either cheaper, depending on when, like right now prices are pretty inexpensive. So the only thing I do it for is rifles that I want accurate ammo for. Otherwise, even though I load 9, 45, 223, stuff like that, but because it's so inexpensive right now, I just buy it.
Oh, yeah.
I'm looking at it the same way. I'm like, okay, how am I saving money? I mean, I understand this machine is less expensive than others, right? It's $110.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
Yeah, the only difference is with this one, you're putting the round in there, you're doing one or two things, and you're reloading the round 3 or 4 times to get the final product. Tony, the thing is, I've talked to people who reload, and they say you don't save money. The reality is you shoot more. You're able to load more ammo and shoot more for the same price.
That's exactly.
Oh, yeah. And I'm cool with that. But I'm looking at, yes, I totally understand that's how that works, but I'm looking at the buy-in. Like, okay, so I have to get this, right? I got to get this machine. How many attachments for this machine? Right. Exactly. Like how deep am I into this? When do I start seeing a return or breaking even or anything?
You have to load, depending on what you're loading, is really
a lot,
and you have to figure it out yourself. I think that's really the real question.
Yeah, I think if you're trying to load 9 or 45, this is a single stage press, right?
Yeah, it's technically a double stage press because you can pull the hand. It'll do one going down and one going up.
Right. So this is not something I would reload pistol with. There's just no way. And isn't there a third step in pistol? You got 2 dies for rifle cartridges and 3 for pistol for some reason. I don't understand how that works.
And some rifle have 3 dies depending on what you want.
So the only thing I've ever reloaded was shot shells. I used to reload 12 gauge quite a bit, and it's a lot different from metallic reloading.
It is.
But yeah, no, this interests me.
Zero. I figured it kind of would, but
if I was got into precision rifle, I think I would get into reloading just to make super accurate bullets. But that's
right, and that's like with me. Like I've loaded up like 308 for a rifle that I don't have anymore, but to get the most accurate load, and then like I have my 243 that I'm shooting 105 grain bullets out of now to get decent distance out of it, and to get them accurate, it's like I can reload them literally cheaper once I find the right load, but I've already invested in all this stuff. So, but if you're brand new, it's like, just go buy some good ammo. Like I said, other stuff, but it's probably, I have a friend that has an old Lee reloader press, and it served him for like 20 some years before he actually broke it. And Lee is less expensive than some of the others. I don't know if they're it wasn't built as strong, but it lasted 20 some years.
I have a Lee C-clamp. I've just never used it.
Right.
Yeah,
it probably works fine. Yeah. Single stage presses.
Well, the thing you got to be careful or look at is I think Dylan's got a no BS return policy, which basically says, or one of them's got a thing where they'll replace it. They don't care how old it is.
Right. But you got to figure a single stage Dillon's what?
Yeah.
$500 now?
The only reloading anything I want is like a fully automated Dillon 650.
They're making a new one that's coming out at SHOT Show.
I want all the bullets.
Yeah, and it's literally kind of.
Oh, they've got those where you just load it up and hit the button and walk away from it.
Yeah.
That's what I want.
Although I wouldn't want to do that. You still want to
watch it
because you want to make sure everything is put on there correctly.
Nah.
Failure drills.
Just pull one every 100 rounds. Pull one. It looks good. You're good to go.
Okay,
it's fine.
If I were to get into reloading, I would mainly get into reloading rifle rounds, and that'd be for the 6.5 Creedmoor or 308 to get those nice precision. Where you're like 124 grain with blah blah blah.
And it kind of depends, because I initially got into reloading because I was shooting a lot of competition, like a lot. So to pay off the press didn't take long at all. And so you're able to shoot more for the same amount of money.
But ammo's cheap right now.
And that's the thing is, like I said earlier, ammo is cheap right now. So
I'm a cheap booger. I'd wait until a press like that came up on like Facebook yard sales or offer up or something where it's like, hey, I'm trying to get rid of my kit because I'm getting out. I don't want to do this no more.
Well, and a lot of people will sell something like this when they upgrade to like a Dillon.
Oh, true.
See, that's how I got all my reloading stuff.
Yeah.
Is I bought it from a lady whose husband died. She's like, "What is this worth?" I'm like, it looks like probably I'd guess around $1,000. She's like, "If you bring me 200, you can have it." And I'm like,
sold.
All right, I'll take it. I don't know what I'm gonna do.
My question with some of this stuff is, how long will this last? Because it looks like they have a lot of plastic in this, right?
Oh, there is.
There is, but
so
the main parts are some sort of metal. Go on, Tony. You still there?
No, that was my whole question. I mean, Dillon, Lee. This is a Lee press. Wait a minute, what is this?
It's Lee.
It might be.
This is
Lee.
Okay.
So you got Tony. If you scroll down about halfway, I'm seeing a November 22nd, 2019 update. Over 800,000 fully loaded cycles completed on our 1,000,000 cycle fatigue test.
Yeah,
it's already passed.
Yeah, and Springfield said they put 40,000 rounds to their XDs, so I don't.
Oh, they
whatever.
did.
Hey, you can still put 40,000 rounds through it, even if you have to load it one at a time.
I had to throw a Springfield dig in.
I'm glad you did. I'm glad you did.
Okay.
Because I was trying to figure out how to shoehorn one in too, just because I'm not a nice person. Hey, I did not make any New Year's resolution that says I was trying to be a better man.
Nope,
I'm just right now, I'm just as petty in 2019 as I was in 2020 as I was in 2019. Brace yourself.
The only difference is bad dad joke. You can see clearly now.
Wow.
I told you.
Wow.
I know.
Your daughter didn't get sick. She was just sick of you.
That's a given. She's not really my daughter, so I'll send you the bill.
Nice.
So that was the Lee app press. Let's get into something that I don't know. It's listener feedback. And we have a great review, literally. It's from Wavy Crockett 13. And it's 5 stars on iTunes. Simple to the point. It says, "Love the show, all fun and informative." Hey, great. what can we say? That's the kind of feedback we like.
Woohoo!
Very concise.
Thanks a lot, Wendy Crockett.
Very concise and to the point. He's just, I like it.
Yep.
I like it too.
Yeah, we thank you for that. And Zane, since you put this in there from our buddy Rusty, you can read it.
Yeah, so Rusty hit me up with a question. It was interesting. So I figured I'd pose it to you guys too. So he says, I have a question about AR mags, MFT mags in general. I got a bunch of them and I've always had good luck with them. And he has a mixture of aluminum, Magpul, and hex mags. He said, but his wife had an issue the other day. She did a reload, running the gun dry, slapped the mag on its bottom. I don't know if I can say that word or not. We'll say bottom. And it traveled up and locked the rifle up. Have you seen this before? I don't know if anything's wrong with the inside, and the mag still looks okay. I've popped a few mags before, but never had any over travel like that. I'm not sure if she smacked it too hard or what. So I have never seen. It sounds like the mag over inserted into the gun, based on the way it locked up, and we corresponded a little bit, got a little more information from them. What it sounded like is the magazine actually over traveled, which I have never seen in an AR. And I was a range coach in the Marines, and I've seen a lot of Lance Corporals do a lot of janky stuff with M4s, and I have never seen that. But so my general advice was ditch the mag, or if you just have an attachment to it, mark it training only, and inspect your mag catch, maybe replace that, and then rock on. What do you guys think? Have y'all ever seen this before?
I have.
No. Of a mag in an
I
AR?
have never seen this before. I mean, I've seen a lot in handgun mags.
Not no,
Right.
hell no.
But not in an AR. My best guess is, I'm with Zane. We kind of discussed this a little earlier, that you could look at your mag catch or replace it. I mean, they're dirt cheap. It's not like buying a new one's going to cost you $7 or something.
He said he used Mission First Tactical, right?
Yeah.
Right. Tony's got something. He's going to.
I got the Mission First Tactical.
Is the bolt open?
Got the bolt open.
You might have. The only other thing I think is she might have had a defective magazine.
Well, that was either it's been used so much that maybe the little cutout where the mag catch goes,
the slot,
is
the
worn.
interfaces. That's what I'm thinking.
Because I thought there was something in the mag to actually prevent it from being over inserted.
Yeah. Or my next guess was, I'm with Zane, toss the mag, but I wondered if it could be like cracked, and so the feed lips are kind of compressing in when you smack it up.
Yeah.
But
either
besides that,
in the manufacturer, the magazine just plumb wore out.
Yeah, and now, I mean, mags are cheap nowadays. Just huck it and buy it.
Now, where's your friend? Where's he at? Is he a Floridian?
I don't know where Rusty lives. No, I don't know.
If you're
He's
a Floridian,
man.
If you leave your magazines in your car in Florida, they're going to get hotter than all get out.
Yeah, I think he lives in Tennessee, but I
can't remember.
Yeah, I'd have to check my messages, but I forgot what.
So another thing I will say is smacking the bottom of a magazine on an open bolt can cause you a lot of problems. I've never seen it cause that problem before, but I have seen literally hundreds of double feeds caused by that, because you pop the first round up a little bit and then the mag tries to strip the second round. So I would push pull instead of smack the bottom. But I've never seen that before. So yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Check your mag catch. Ditch the mag.
Yep. Excuse me. I think that's what everybody says. Okay, Tony. Yep. Guess what?
Hey. Got a date. One, I want to go ahead and get this out because I just came from his funeral. If you have issues, if you go through depression, if you have a problem, please contact somebody. Call the suicide hotline. They'll be in the show notes. Get help, man. Really, get help. It was horrible being there today. I barely got back in time to do the show. Sucked. It sucked being at a friend's funeral. All right. Second is for everybody, Diversity Shoot. Next one is February 20th. If you support us with our Patreon, this is what you can win. If you donate $20 or above during the month of January, we're going to make the drawing in February, and it's $20 and above patrons. qualify for this awesome industry build AR-15. I swear this thing weighs 6 pounds, maybe less. Mission First Tactical stock, Brownell's bulk carrier, just a lot of cool stuff. Even has a black bag resources. There you go. Hey, can you see it?
Kind of.
Yeah, black bag resources, laser engraved charging handle. Hey, look, it has the freaking Nordic Components handguard that Chad gave.
No, I haven't seen that in years.
Yep, got the Faxon pencil barrel, 16-inch pencil barrel from Modern Material here in Jersey. He's got a multi-device. So we have a lot of cool stuff on here from the industry. Really appreciate all of you guys and the support you give. So $20 and above, this is what you're going to be eligible for. And I just picked up a CRKT knife that I'm going to create a new level called the $10 level. And if you donate $10, I'll have a drawing for that too. So that's what's going on with diversityshoot.com. The second is for everyone. If you don't know what it is, go to diversityshoot.com and check out what our mission is, which is, of course, growing the Second Amendment by being inclusive. You can reach us on Instagram at Simon Says Train. Second is for everyone on Facebook. We even own 2a4e.com now. Thank you, Artisan Tony, and your Second Amendment project. And also, you can donate on Second is for Everyone on GoFundMe. And Black Bag Resources, you can do your thing there. Type in 2a4e, and you can purchase something through them. Again, suicide hotline, 1-800-273-8255. Or Hold My Guns, info@holdmyguns.org. If you just need to get your guns out of the house and you want to have somebody who doesn't know you take care of it, you can go ahead and shoot them an email. Also, walkthetalkamerica.org. So reach out and get help if you need help because your life matters. Please do not make a permanent choice on a temporary problem. Thank you, as always, for allowing me on the show and talk about what we do.
Yeah, anytime, Tony, as you already know. So I guess that's it for us. So send questions, comments, or feedback to gungearreview@gmail.com. Also, if you want Tony and I to look at anything at SHOT Show, send us an email and tell us what you want us to look at. May it be something weird or something normal. I prefer the weird stuff, but, I don't know about Tony. Pledge your support for us at gunandgearcult.com. Remember to subscribe and leave an iTunes review. Check out all the other great shows on the Firearms Radio Network at firearmsradio.tv. And be sure to visit the Firearms Insider for reviews of said products, whatever they are. Check us out on Facebook and Instagram at Firearms Insider. And of course, thank you for listening to the largest pound for pound podcast on the network. And we are out.
Stickers came in today. Get yours.
We'll have some at SHOT Show.
Yes, sir.
Different, but hey.